For a long time, the issue of NBA player multi-million-dollar salaries has been a hot topic. Some, mostly casual fans, claim that no player, even LeBron James, deserves the huge amount of green, whereas others, mostly hardcore followers, believe that NBA should eliminate the salary cap because not only do players, especially the top tier, deserve it, but often outperform their deal. Despite the figures, however, not many people are aware how players receive their money, how much of the amount actually ends up in their pockets, and other financial matters.
So, let me explain everything. What up everybody, my name is Stefan and this is Heat Check. Let's get into it.
Most NBA players are paid on the 1st and the 15th of each month, which was confirmed also by the league itself in April, announcing that players would receive their full checks on April 15th despite no games having been played due to the COVID situation. The bi-weekly arrangement is part of the Collective Bargaining Agreement or CBA between the Players Association and the league from 2017 and runs through the 2023-24 season. In an ESPN article by their NBA insider Bobby Marks dated April 9th of this year, it is further explained among other things that about 90% of players get paid every 2 weeks year-round, though some stars like LeBron James have a different arrangement. James received a balloon payment of $18.7 million, half of his salary, back on the 1st of October, and he gets paid every 2 weeks through May the 1st. The balloon payment though is nothing new. Back in 2013, Kobe Bryant was part of the same procedure. On the 1st of November of that year, the Black Mamba received more than $24 million from the Los Angeles Lakers, more than any other player earned during the entire 2013-14 season. Bryant's entire salary for that season was more than $30 million, so the remaining $6 million was paid out over the course of the year. There's a limit of how much a player can receive in advance, and Bryant was right at that 80% maximum. However, NBA players don't get anywhere near the full amount that we hear on the news and speculate about, and that's how we come to the issue of taxes. In Kobe's case, for example, the taxes reduced his pay to closer to just $11 million. And other good examples of this are Steph Curry, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, and James Harden. In September of 2017, an ESPN analysis showed that Steph, despite his gross pay of more than $34.5 million, the most in the league, would get far less than that. That is, just above $15 million in net pay, in reality making him the third highest in terms of the actual net amount. That was so due to the federal taxes standing at 33.61% and state taxes that are the highest in California at a level of 11.84%. As the same analysis explained, James, then with the Cleveland Cavaliers, would get just 50% of the money, meaning he would receive a net amount of $16.7 million, despite his gross annual salary of $33.2 million. The federal taxes stood at 35.75%. You may know that states like Texas or Florida have no state income tax, so for example, players like James Harden or Jimmy Butler don't worry about this deduction right here. However, they do pay something called job taxes. Here's what that is. When players go to another state, for example, Butler plays in LA against the Lakers, the money that he earns playing in that game right there is being taxed at a California level. So in reality, if you play in a no-tax state, you save up on 41 of the home games, but get taxed whenever the team plays an away game in a different state. Moving on, there's also of course the cut that the agent gets, deservedly so I might add, since he's the one that handles all of the work for the player when a deal is negotiated or eventually being signed. It depends from player to player, but usually that's under 3% of the full amount of the deal. And when you also take into account the escrow and holdout as well, which are part of league regulatives that are a bit too long and complicated for this video, we now have a complete picture of how much players are reported to get from a new deal, but how much they actually receive in their pocket. With this in mind, we can now mention the endorsement money that for some players even exceed the NBA earnings. The large majority of it, at least for basketball players, comes from the sports brand that they're signed to. So if we take a look at the top 10 highest paid players list for this year, guys like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, and Giannis get the majority of their endorsement money from Nike/Jordan brand, which is the same company. James Harden and Damian Lillard benefit from their massive deals with Adidas, and then you have guys like Steph Curry, who's the face of Under Armour, and Klay Thompson, who's the only one on this list signed to a Chinese shoe brand, Anta. You can now see how much of a financial boost this is for players, and it only speaks about the humongous profit that sportswear companies have with these players as their ambassadors. Besides this, we see food and beverage companies, fashion brands, or even car manufacturers offering millions of dollars to NBA superstars to advertise their products. However, only the top players can rely on such endorsement deals as a bonus. For the lower tier of bench players, especially the ones signed to a minimum, it's even more important that they stay on top of their finances and take care of the money, since as we saw, half of their salary gets taken away, and when you're signed to a minimum but try to live that exotic lifestyle, the bank account can quickly get depleted. So the next time you see a huge NBA contract or read that some former player is having financial difficulties, try to at least take this information into consideration. Do so before you judge a player for seeking a max deal or when an ex-player is on the verge of bankruptcy. This is not to say that players overspending and being financially irresponsible should be excused, but rather to point out that context, as is usually the case, is everything. There's a reason why finances are a part of the NBA rookie transition program, why veterans are often praised by some young players more for helping them adjust to their money management than with their game. One thing's for sure, however, I'm taking the gross, the net, or anywhere close to the amount that's being mentioned right here in this video. Let me know if you agree. That's it for now. Subscribe and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.